welcome to another episode of Building a Leadership Mindset podcast. I'm your host, Nikki C., all the way from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Today we have a special episode with a very special guest, and we are super excited to bring this information to you, your family, your friends, and all over the world as we get busy for Izzy. She is none other than Marilyn Morales. She is a board-certified holistic registered nurse with 30 years of healthcare experience. She hosts the podcast Unscripted with Marilyn Morales on YouTube. She is the author of When the Answer is Known, Finding Purpose Through Pain, detailing her PTSD from 9/11 and grieving her daughter, Isabella. Marilyn contributes to anthologies like Dare to Care, Spiritual Fitness Survivor, 4th edition, and Warrior Women, 2nd edition. She is the co-owner of The Gathering Haven. She educates on healing from trauma through holistic methods. As president of Izzys Legacy, Inc., she promotes diversity in the National Bone Marrow Registry and supports cancer patients financially all over. She is my friend. She is my sister. I am so proud to be part of this mission that she has. When I met her over 2 years ago, I knew she was a mom on a mission, and she is back here with an update on what is going on with Izzys Legacy, and we're getting busy for Izzy today. So she is none other than my friend Marilyn Morales. Hey, beautiful. How are you?
Hello, hello, hello. I'm fantastic. Thank you for having me here today.
Absolutely. So glad to have you back. We have been on a journey the last two, almost and a half years. It has been just beautiful and amazing to watch the lives that you have been changing through this mission. So tell us a little bit about what Izzys Legacy is for our viewers to know.
So Izzys Legacy, as you know, because you're one of my board members, right?
I
It
am.
has to do, yeah, I'm very proud and I love your shirt, by the way. I wanted to say that.
Yes. You can get it on
So
our website.
that's right. Get it on the website. Get it. Let us know. We can bring it to you if you're local. So the most important piece of Izzys Legacy is the need to get the information out there to those of Hispanic, Black, and mixed ethnicity origins, those of us that are considered quote unquote minorities. And I say that quote unquote because we're the majority, right?
Absolutely.
That we don't have representation, right? In the national, and I want to update that to bone marrow registry. It's actually the stem cell registry. So, and I say that because in the past, and people hear bone marrow registry and immediately they get scared, right? Their thoughts go back to the old days where you used to have to go into somebody's hip bone to extract, that spongy material that creates all the cells in your body called bone marrow, right? But no longer is that true. Science has come a long way. And today it's as easy as giving blood. We get the stem cells right out of your bloodstream. We give you everything right back to you, and you are saving a life in life. So there are so many conditions that have to do with blood, right? One of the major ones is cancer, blood cancers, leukemia, lymphoma. We hear those words over and over again. And a lot of people are out there waiting to get a transplant, meaning they need somebody's stem cells to replace their own, which contain the cancer cells, in order for them to continue to live, right? And it's heartbreaking to hear of all the people that don't have a match because our people haven't had the education to see how easy it is and join this volunteer registry. And that's what Izzys Legacy is about.
Again, just a beautiful mission to save a life, and it's so easy to do so. So we celebrated last year the first annual gala for fundraising for Izzys Legacy. Tell us a little bit about building that journey and the response that you received from your community to get educated on this information.
Well, that was a whole surreal experience for me, as you know, because we walked hand in hand in being able to get that to fruition, right? I had no idea how to do anything like that. As I say all the time, I'm a nurse, I'm a nurse by trade. So that's what I know how to do, right? But when it comes to, forming nonprofits and getting people to support and come to a fundraiser, that was alien to me. And that needed somebody with an expertise like Nikki Cuesta. And, hand by hand, you led me with all the tools that we needed to get this organized. And the number one thing, I'm a woman of faith, that I said to you, that I wasn't going to worry about it. I wasn't going to get myself crazy. I knew that God had my back, right? That this was ordained by him and that he would figure out the people and the situations to bring to me. I just needed to recognize and acknowledge them, right? Which is when you walk in faith, it's an acknowledgement and a recognition that this person is here to help me. So I accepted the help, which for a lot of people like me, it's difficult to accept help. We're the ones that are always doing. And one of the biggest lessons you taught me was, let me help you. Accept the help, right? Go do something more important, like get up on a stage and go educate people, right? Keep talking about it. I've got the back end. I'm organizing this for you, and I'm teaching you how to do it along the way. That was hard for me, right? But I knew that I didn't know, and I knew that God sent you. So I said, okay. And I think within 24 hours, when I had put it out there that I needed sponsors for this event, I had people reaching out to me to say present, to say, I know what you're doing. I believe in what you're doing, and I want to back you up, and I want to be a sponsor. So God brought me the people. I accepted and acknowledged them and was very grateful for them. And the rest is history. People that came, supported. And I will tell you, everybody that attended that event, if you're watching us here today, the things that have happened since then, we have gone on to financially assist many families with the walk of blood cancer specifically, right? From the first person that came to us needing financial assistance was a young girl in her 20s who had leukemia as well, had not found her match, was on a waiting list to find her match. And her mom reached out and said, what's the process? I'm trying to help my daughter. She's very resistant to help, but I want to help her. What can I do? And I led her to that, and her daughter applied. She was going through the journey, and we were able to help her. And she went on to find her match and successfully have a transplant, which is beautiful. After that, we have partnered with Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, right, which is the hospital where my daughter was at, where my journey began. The social workers there have partnered with Izzys Legacy to help families come to us, find us, so that we can help them. And they themselves have said, Izzys Legacy is different from all the help that is out there. Usually, the funds aren't distributed to the patient or family themselves. They have to produce a bill or something specific, and then they will pay that third party. They don't do that, or they ask for money back, which is crazy to me, right? That you help somebody, but you expect something back. But there are organizations out there that do that. And she said, you're a grant. You give it to them. And with the honor system, we know, and because I was on the other side of that sometimes the expenses may not be just a specific bill. Maybe you have other children like I had, and you're not able to support their activities in school or buy, that instrument or that uniform that they need to be able to be a regular child, the siblings, because you can't afford it. Right? Or maybe your car broke down and you need a repair in order to get to the hospital and back. I get emotional because a mother applied because of that, right? She said, I have everything except my car just broke down and there's no help. I need to get to the hospital and back. And Izzys Legacy was there to help her. This is what I'm talking about. Helping families.
That is beautiful. I too get emotional. I actually was having chills as you were speaking because I do believe that Izzys Legacy is very, very different. Just being in the back end, right behind the scenes, and seeing what you're putting together, what we're all working towards to make sure that your mission stays alive for generations to come, because it's so true that sometimes, in unfortunate situations, they just pile on, right? And we just never know what's out there. And if we don't ask, we're here to let you know that Izzys Legacy is here for you and on this journey. It's not easy. It's been beautiful to see. And as as applications come in, the funds actually, continue to dwindle because we're supporting that mission. So our goal is to continue raising funds for these families. Tell us some other type of situations where we have granted these financial blessings for these families.
So in addition to that, and I try to be respectful of people's situations, right, and their conditions, because that's one of the things that Izzys Legacy has vowed to do is protect you and protect your private information, right? But every single one of these applications has come from a parent. Every single one has come from a parent who is struggling to make ends meet, who has applied and has exhausted for these other one-time grants, right? And these conditions last a long time. Like Izzy's journey, unfortunately, ended a year after her diagnosis because she passed. But had she survived, right? Had she continued and not succumbed to her illness, it was going to be a very, very long road ahead of us, right? The road doesn't begin and end with a diagnosis. It is all the after things that happen, the medications to sustain that patient afterwards, to make sure they don't reject their transplant, for all the other side effects. Medications come with side effects. And a lot of times when those emerge, you need other medications, you need other treatments, hospitalizations. How many hospitalizations did I not have? Because these patients have ports, they have things that are implanted inside of them to maintain their recovery. And if they become dislodged or they become broken, it's life-threatening. So here you go into the hospital for another week or two, and you can't work. And you can't work. Imagine having to make the decisions of working to feed your family or be with your child, your spouse, whoever that loved one is, in the hospital. Countless stories of parents, spending the night with their child in the hospital, then having to leave them, right? To go work because they have to feed their families. So these heartbreaking situations, and by giving them a little bit, because it's not a lot that we can give them, but every little bit helps, right? A little bit of peace that you can give, like I explained, that mother who needed her car fixed. Another one who said, she had this back due payment for an electric bill that she hadn't been able to pay, right? The other young lady who was going to lose her car because she couldn't afford the payment that month, right? She needed to pay her car payment to make it up to date so they wouldn't come and repossess it. That was the first one, right? And I was like, here you go. And at least for that next month, she didn't have to worry about that. We gave them hope. We just didn't give them dollars. We gave them hope. And we let them know that people out there care.
Absolutely. So we are gearing up. Just with all that being said, we are not stopping. We're not letting off the gas pedal at all. We are working on the second Izzys Legacy Inc. fundraiser happening this October. Tell us, what is the mission for that?
So interestingly enough, one of the physicians that attended our first one, there was a lot of physical work on our end to have to set up, take down, and all that stuff. At the end of that gala said, "This is beautiful and I believe in you. And next year it's not going to be like this, right? So I'm going to help you do something different." And then he said to me that golfing tournaments tend to be something that people do as a fundraiser, and he'd like me to be open to it, right? I'm not a golfer. So I said, I don't know anything about that. You either, right? A lot of people that I'm connected to, for me, I've always looked at that as a luxury, right? A luxury that I could never afford myself because of the challenges that I've had throughout my life, right? But I was like, this is something different. I'm going to be open to it, right? And just because he and the people that he's surrounded with believe in Izzys Legacy and want to help us as much as possible. And I said, I'm going to be open to it. I am going to accept help. It's one of the biggest lessons I've learned is to accept the help. And when I will tell you, I went there with him to see the place. He goes, you have to see it so that you can visualize it. It's beautiful. It's out in nature. The entire day is just going to be about everything I say: fun, fellowship, and faith, right? Which was the theme always. And he says, being in nature just brings something different. Being able to laugh and enjoy the day brings just a different energy. And we're raising money for just a beautiful thing, right? To help people. Who hasn't been touched by cancer? Who? Right?
Mm-hmm.
I went to see it, and I told the guy that was helping us, I said, I've never, ever been on a golf course. And he says, let me take you. And he put me in a golf cart, and he took me to the highest point. And the location is going to be Little Mill Country Club in Marlton, New Jersey. He took me, he goes, this is the highest point in this part of New Jersey, in Burlington County. Just look. And when I looked out at the beauty of nature, I got chills because I could feel God there. And I said, thank you. Thank you, because this is absolutely going to be a day filled with all those things that are important. Most importantly, fellowship and faith. Faith in us, faith in humanity, faith in that we're here to get together to help people. And I know that it's going to be beautiful. So October 28th, it's a Monday, but it's the day that has been stamped as the day for Izzys Legacy to do this. And I truly believe that we're going to have the outpouring of support that we need in order to help so many people on a global level.
Absolutely. So you heard it. It's a Monday, October 28th. Take your time off request now. Mark it on your calendars.
You got time.
Yeah, absolutely. You don't have time to waste. Again, we are on a mission to save lives around the world. And I am just so proud of you for just continuing to stand in what the mission is. And I know Isabella's watching you every single day, giving you the strength to continue to help other families, because you don't have to do this.
Right.
You really don't. But your heart tells you you do. So then you really do, right? God tells you that her passing is not going in vain, and you're doing such powerful work. And tell us a little bit about how she would be represented at this beautiful event that you're going to have, because you said you were at the highest peak, right? So I know she was there. Those chills was her hugging you. Like, I truly believe that. So share with us a little bit about what your vision is for this day, aside the fellowship and all that stuff.
Again, is sharing her story, as I share every time we get together, is sharing her story. That little girl was so resilient, right? I said she had a spunk, and I said she was the one that was most like me, right? Very driven. My daughters are very driven girls, and my oldest as well, right? But that's what gets you through these things. That's what pushes you through. And as sick as she was throughout that whole thing, she would get up. She was something else, right? And she'd be just fighting. Where somebody, if I have a headache, sometimes I don't want to do anything, you just want to lay down and do nothing. Well, she couldn't say, Mommy, I have a headache. I don't feel good. I don't want to eat, right? That girl got up every single day and laughed and danced and got dressed, right? And that's how I live my life. Get up, get dressed, and go out.
Absolutely.
I can't. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Never apologize, because that's what we have to do as adults who can speak, who can be part of the change of the mission. We have to get up, get dressed, get out there and fight for everything that we believe in to change this world. Beautiful.
That's right.
Absolutely beautiful.
And I said, if the people that helped me had taken the attitude of I'm tired and I don't want to, and I wish something could be done, wishing and doing are two very different things. You can wish, but you have to take action, right? And the thought of Izzys Legacy, and I shared this during the first fundraiser, was because two moms who had just recently met me through school said, we got to do something for this family. And they formed a fundraiser to help us. And because of that fundraiser, I was able to be with my daughter and take hours away from work and support my family and not lose everything and be able to go every day to the hospital to be with my daughter, because these two women said, and they worked tirelessly and told me, don't worry about it, we got you. In order for that to happen, they didn't have to do that either. The woman who showed up at the door, because I was in the hospital, Isabella was hospitalized during that fundraiser, and we got discharged hours before, right? So I came and made an appearance, right? Because I wanted to thank everybody who was there supporting us that day. And my husband shared with me that a woman, a stranger, came to the door asking to speak to Isabella's parents. I wasn't there, so he had to go alone. And when he got there, a woman handed him an envelope and said, someone did this for me. My husband had cancer and survived. And somebody did this for me, and I am paying this forward. One day, you will be able to do the same. Handed him a sealed envelope, and when he opened it, there were $500 in there. And I was, $500 for a lot of people is not a lot of money, but for us, it was. And I said, I could not believe that somebody who didn't know us, who read about us in a newspaper, took the time to drive from wherever, because we have no idea where she came from, to do a drive-by. She didn't even stay, to say present. And then planted that seed inside of he and I to say, one day we will. One day we'll be on the other side and we'll be able to give that forward. So part of our mission, and that's why part of our mission is to financially assist, is because that's our way of giving back and paying it forward.
You guys are doing it so well. We are all in this with you. Tell us a little bit about how people can start now, because I know this event is October 28th, but we can start the mission now. So tell us, one, how do they get on the registry, the age, all the qualifications for that, and then how can they support financially from now?
Right. So everything I say, we've created the one-stop shop, right? IzzysLegacyInc.org is our website. If you go on there, it will give you all the information about how to join the registry. You can register right there online, right? The age qualifications is 18 to 40, right? And we're not discriminating against anybody older than 40, because I get asked that all the time, right? But the younger you are, the healthier your cells are, right? And that provides the best possible outcome for that patient. And when you're going through transplant and you're getting chemo to kill the cancerous cells, it's life-threatening. And you want that patient to have the best possible viable cells, right? You want to give them that best chance possible. You can join up till your 40th year, but you can donate up until you're 60, right? So you have to just join at that time. And then, because if you're the only choice, right, then you're the only choice, right? And they have to take you. But we just want to give the best possible choice to that person. If you're over 40, you're overqualified, we call that. But there's so many ways that you can help and support as well, is by spreading the word, right? When you join online, the kit comes right to your house. There's nowhere for you to go, right? The kit comes to your house. It's a simple 2-minute process, right? You did it yourself and posted a video. And I think we should show that video again in the coming weeks of just swabbing the inside of your cheeks, putting it back in this postage paid envelope, mailing it out. The health questions. Do I qualify if I have this health condition or that health condition? There are so many different things that I would love for everybody just to go to the website and read up. All those FAQs are right on our website. When you click on that, it'll tell you if you qualify. They'll ask you some questions, ask you to create an account, and then you're on your way. Remember that this is volunteer, okay? Just because you sign up doesn't mean You have to. We want you to. We want you to go ahead and save that life, right? But it doesn't mean you have to. If something is preventing you at that time, maybe you're sick, maybe something's going on in your family at the time, it's okay. It's okay. Nobody's going to yell at you. Nobody's going to get mad at you. It's okay, right? But again, it's volunteer. All the questions about financially, right? The NMDP has so many resources, right? They help pay for your salary if you don't get paid for the day. They help with that. They'll transport you. They support you in every step possible. The insurance of the receiving patient is the one that pays for all of this. There is no money for you out of pocket. It's 100% financially supported and volunteer. But certainly go on our website and it'll tell you all the information you need. In addition to that, we need funds. We need funds because, as you shared, we keep getting applications, right? So we have been able to bless all these families and our funds are dwindling. So we need support. Right there on izzyslegacyinc.org, you can donate today, you know? So you can go $5, $10, $15, whatever your heart tells you to do. We 100% appreciate that and know that 100% of the funds goes directly to those people that we support and to our initiatives. I have izzyslegacy.com if you're interested in my story and how I got here, and how I recovered from PTSD, stress, and anxiety from not only Isabella, but from my 9/11 story. My book, When the Answer is No, Finding Purpose Through Pain, can be found on izzyslegacy.com. 100% of the proceeds of that book also goes to supporting our mission.
Yeah, that's actually what actually launched Izzy's Legacy, was the proceeds from that book. And that's just a beautiful way to segue into the next portion, which I wanted to state that it's a simple process, just like Marilyn said, 2 minutes. But what I also want our listeners to understand is, if you don't qualify because of age or any of the health questions, remember, you have family and friends. Share this information. Your children, have a conversation. Read up on the information, because again, it's about saving lives, right? It's our human responsibility to take care of our world, our environment, all that good stuff. And we want to make sure that Izzy's Legacy continues to showcase that as we are. So thank you so much, Marilyn, for all this information. But tell us what the call to action is. How do they register for this event? How can they connect with you, contact you? Let us know.
And listen, everything can be on that website. There's a contact me right on there. You can certainly email me at president@izzyslegacyinc.org or Marilyn Morales 3817@gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram. I'm on all those social media, and we can certainly put those in the chat when this airs, so you have ways of connecting with us. Let me know that you're interested, whether you want to volunteer. Say, hey, I've never golfed, but I would love to help you on that day. We're looking for volunteers to come and help us out that day. Let me know, right? You can help us financially. You can help us by being a sponsor. If you're interested in being a sponsor, if you own a business and would love to donate, we're going to have a basket bonanza that day. So we're looking for people to donate, services, baskets. So if you're an organization, a company that sells books, t-shirts, anything, right? We're looking for baskets to be made that we can put on there as well. So many different ways. Just reach out to me and say, hey, I want to help. And then we can have a conversation. We can figure out how you can help and support us as well. Did that answer all your questions?
Thank you so much. That answered all of it, all of it, all of it. Thank you so much. This has been emotional. It has also been phenomenal, because when I first met you and heard your story, I knew you were a mom on a mission. And I know that you will not rest until your last breath, making sure that this legacy that you've created for Izzy goes on long before your grandchildren's grandchildren's grandchildren. And I just love everything you're doing. Your family is forever in my heart. I will forever be on this mission with you. And if you want to support Izzys Legacy Inc., definitely go to izzyslegacyinc.org. All the information's there. Connect with Marilyn Morales. Every little bit helps to move forward on this mission. I'll just thank everyone for listening in. And if you're inspired and moved, please share this, comment, subscribe to Building a Leadership Mindset, as we will continue from now until October, bringing this message and the stories that are continuing to unfold. Because again, even though the mission is for the next event is for October, every single day, there's always conversations happening about how we can serve. So Marilyn, I'll have you close it off, and anything you want to leave the audience with.
I would love to say thank you just for listening to us, right? And listening to this information. Please don't wait until it's you on the other side of this camera. Every 7 minutes, someone in the United States is diagnosed with a blood cancer. For us, it's personal. My daughter had leukemia. My father now has multiple myeloma, another blood cancer. I've had several people with blood cancers in my family. So for me, it's personal. Please don't wait until it's you. Do something now. Do something today. And thank you.
There you have it, Marilyn Morales. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Building a Leadership Mindset podcast. Again, subscribe, share, comment, and connect. Have a great one. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.